MassTransit was at an RV park in northern Wisconsin when Father Tim Aldenhoven, a dynamic young priest in the Diocese of La Crosse, invited us to observe and report on the operation of the Pop-Up Pantry at the front entrance of St. Bernard Catholic Church in Abbotsford, just 5 miles to the south of where we were hunkered down. Accepting the invitation, we headed to St. Bernard the next Thursday, thinking that we could produce a short video on the food ministry there. Watching the all-volunteer crew at work and the long line of vehicles in the queue, it quickly dawned on us that this pop-up pantry would merit more than a few minutes. After we sat down with a few of the volunteers and pantry patrons, plus Father Tim, we knew this was a story that needs to be told in full. First, let's meet Father Tim and let him tell us about this relatively new, yet manifestly impactful ministry.
Our food pantry started with COVID. We started first with a collaborative with the counties, trying to get them to talk to each other about how we're dealing with COVID, how we're supporting the families who are affected, March 2020. And from there, discovered that there was a real need for food because people weren't working. People were out of work for 2 weeks back then. So we started the pantry, and it quickly grew from there to where we outgrew the United Way and Hunger Coalition that we were partnered with, and we became partners with the food bank Feed My People in Eau Claire. And as of right now, we're averaging 220 families every week, about 1,200 individuals. We have a crew of about 35 volunteers, probably 17-ish every week working. And we're open every Thursday from 2 to 4 to serve food to anyone who needs it, anyone who wants to come.
The cadre of volunteers making the food ministry possible includes Rhonda Grabko, a professional social worker with United Healthcare. Rhonda works with individuals aged 65 and older, the economically disadvantaged, and the medically underserved. On Thursdays, she volunteers at the Pop-Up Pantry.
So I did some search on Google. I just did some Google searching and I knew that there was a Hispanic population in and around Abbotsford and Colby, and we have Hispanic employees who speak Spanish. So I wanted to learn how could we be of help. And then when I connected with Father, he talked about the pantry, and we've been actually able to help support financially the mobile pantry. So we've done some sponsorships, and once a month our staff will come and just answer questions that people have about healthcare in general. I started volunteering here. I had actually called up Father and wanted to know more about the food distribution. A lot of the folks that we serve are very low income, having trouble putting food on the table for themselves and for their kids. A lot of the folks I work with are seniors, and so they're on a very fixed income, fixed budget. So they're always looking for ways to make their money spread farther. One of the things that I do is I come here and I volunteer. I pick up food for 4 families on a regular basis who can't get out of the home. Either they don't have transportation or their disability makes it difficult for them to get here. So I will go drop off their food and then, check in with them just to make sure things are going well, help meet whatever needs they might have. I really feel a great sense of fulfillment just in being able to help people, hence, my social work degree. In doing my search on the internet, the Abbotsford Pop-Up Pantry came up right away. It just felt like the right thing, so I think God had something to do with leading me to that specific pantry. He works in mysterious ways. We don't always understand or always get, how we get to be where we are, but I think he definitely had a role. God definitely had a role in me picking that particular pantry.
Paul Ritz is a retired physician. Prior to retiring, Dr. Ritz's patients consisted primarily of an underserved elderly population in the region. After wrapping up his medical career, Paul Ritz continued his service to God, including volunteering at the pantry to minister to the most needy among us.
I was in the Knights of Columbus, and being a Grand Knight, and we have parishioners from our council in St. Bernard's and St. Louis parishes. He asked if the Knights would get involved, and so I've been involved with the food distribution for a good 2 years now. And we have about 6 Knights that come and work every Thursday afternoon, unloading in the truck and distributing. about 75 families from Marathon County and between 120 to 140 families locally. And then when COVID settled down with inflation and price of gas, there was still the need. It opened our eyes to see the number of people that needed help. And I think somewhere along the way you say, why am I here? And I might be doing well, but that doesn't mean everybody else might be doing well. A Benedictine pamphlet or a magazine that came out from where I went to college at St. John's in Minnesota, and it had a food line, and in there they had a picture of Jesus. They said, you never know where you're going to see Jesus. And it was kind of an eye-opening picture. I thought, that could be happening right here and we don't know it.
Thousands of pounds of meat, milk, cheese, fruits, vegetables, and baked goods are distributed to local, individual, and family patrons every week by 15 to 20 volunteers. Some patrons in the ministry also serve on the volunteer crew distributing the items. Dulce Maria is among that group.
I am volunteer because the people don't speak English, and I try to help with the people don't speak English, and I practice my English too. It's important because when the people comes to United States, they don't have money, or they start their life again, and they don't have food, and the church support to have food all the time. And diapers. The father help with the diapers. I think it's important for the babies. San Bernardine is too important because I feel in family. I don't have family in Abbotsford, and with the church and the people, I feel comfortable. I feel in family. Las despensas son muy importantes porque cuando mucha gente está recién llegada aquí a Estados Unidos, no tiene que comer o no tiene un trabajo, entonces la iglesia nos ayuda a sentirnos más seguros de empezar una nueva vida aquí que es difícil. Nos ayuda a sentirnos en familia, nos ayuda a no sentirnos que estamos solos y pues nos ayuda a tener un alimento seguro en nuestra casa.
Jose Hernandez is another client of and a volunteer at the Pop-Up Pantry. He has lived and worked in Abbotsford for 23 years. His gratitude for the food ministry is obvious.
I come and get the food pantry because it helps me with the rest of my bills. I don't have to worry about buying food. I used to have debts with the hospital and bank, but now I've been catching up on everything. Yes, when I do have the time, I come and help the guys because they kind of know me. They are really nice. They like me. They always smile at me, treat me really good. Thank you to all of you guys that make this possible. I know you are volunteers. There is no pay for you, but I'm sure that you have the satisfaction to come and help the people. I've been here helping a couple of times, and it feels good.
Kendra is a single mother of 6. Her children range in age from 9 to almost 18. When the Pop-Up Pantry opened, she and her children lived less than 10 miles from St. Bernard. God's blessings unfolded in the lives of her and her children. Kendra loaded up the family and relocated to her own home in a community nearly 2 hours from Abbotsford. There, she has started her own business and is building a better life for her and her family.
Yeah, I love my babies. They are my life, and I started coming here because of them. I have deeply appreciated the food program that is here very much. I work and I work hard, and I do a lot to keep a roof over their heads, and sometimes, no matter how much I'm working, still need extra food in our home. And this place has helped me out so very much with that. There's been a couple of times where it was one of their birthdays, and I didn't have a cake, and they came here, and Father Tim's like, "Oh yeah, here," and he like brings over this big cake, like in her favorite colors and her favorite flavor, and he goes, "Here's a cake for you today." That has happened twice for different children at different occasions right when we needed it. And how did he know? Who knows? Just super blessed. One of the things that I so much appreciate about this pop-up pantry is how abundant that they are and how abundant they choose to continue to be. I have gone to many food pantries before in the past, and I mean, you know, you need to give them your right arm, your left foot, and your big right toe, and tons of other information. And I come here, I give my name, how many people are in my family. I'm not asked about my income. I'm not asked if I work. I'm not asked any of those things, and it's literally just, come on in, we've got food for you. How much do you need? So many families served every week, and not only feel full and taken care of, but loved. You feel loved when you come here. One of the things I love, even more than the food, is the fellowship and is the company. Father Tim and I have had beautiful, long, lengthy discussions and theology and learning things and history, and this man is so full of bubbling encouragement and love and light, and he is a true leader, and there's so few of those people who truly not only believe in what they believe in, but believe in those around them and see the good in everyone and strive to make someone else's life just a little better.
But you know, one of the great blessings is I get to talk to all these people, English and Spanish, and hear their stories, hear why they're coming. And it's been beautiful. I mean, we've had celebrations with people who are now cancer-free, and we give them a cake and we celebrate with them. We celebrate birthdays here and sing happy birthday. In fact, once we had a lady here, we were singing happy birthday to her in terminal cancer, and it was funny, one of my Hispanic volunteers had just called the Mexican consulate, and he was on hold. Well, they had picked up as we were singing, and he goes back on the phone, and here they're singing with us on the Mexican consulate from Chicago. But it really is that kind of atmosphere here. You know, we are one community, and our primary purpose is to uplift people and their dignity. You know, yes, we serve food, but we do so much more than that too. You have to fill the belly so that people are open to have their souls filled as well. So para nosotros ese ministerio es muy importante para todos, especialmente nuestros hermanos hispanos, los inmigrantes. Pero para nosotros también, esa es una obra de caridad y es algo muy importante que estamos haciendo. Somos familia ayudando a otra familia. Y para nosotros hoy es un día muy bendecido, con mucha alegría, con mucha humildad, que sí podemos apoyar a uno a otro y que Dios nos da la bendición para amar como Él, para hacer sus manos, sus pies en esta comunidad. So as I just said in Spanish, you know, this ministry is really a blessed one. You know, as Catholics, we're called to be the hands and feet of Christ. We're called to love with the heart of Christ, and this is truly a way to do that. It's a very simple but yet profound way, and I'm just so blessed and so thankful for the volunteers here who have been absolutely amazing. A lot of these people were not involved in the church before this started like this, and they've really stepped up, they've really made sacrifices to make this happen.
MassTransit usually spends 3 to 4 or more days with parishes featured on this channel. We were at St. Bernard with the Pop-Up Pantry for a total of fewer than 5 hours. In that brief time, we visited with many individuals, each of whom impressed us with their faith, hope, and charity. Partnered with Feed My People Food Bank in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the St. Bernard Pop-Up Pantry currently serves 200 to 240 families every week, totaling around 1,000 to 1,100 individuals. It bears noting that our visit was the Thursday following Labor Day, and thus the tonnage of food from the food bank was significantly less than the usual 4 to 5 tons on hand. If you, your family, your church, or other group would like to donate to this ministry, it costs $350 a week to feed these families. Donations can be sent to St. Bernard, payable to St. Bernard Works of Charity. The mailing address and phone number are repeated at the conclusion of this video. We've traveled nearly 500 miles since leaving Abbotsford, Wisconsin, and our new friends at St. Bernard and the Pop-Up Pantry. As we contemplate their ministry and Jesus' teaching in Matthew 25, our love and admiration for them grows as we realize that, in feeding the least among us, they are feeding Jesus. If you like this video and would like to see more episodes, please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Please pray for MassTransit, and please know that we are praying for you. God bless you.